News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. What a flippin' day, huh? We learn a lot more about the attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump and the massive, complete, unbelievable failure of Joe Biden's Secret Service. A reminder, the head of the Secret Service, who has been working at PepsiCo for about 8 years, and prior to that was a Secret Service agent for 25 years or so. She guarded Joe and not a Dr. Jill, a.k.a. Nurse Jill, loves her, and Nurse Jill said, "I want her to lead the Secret Service, Joe. She's like you. She answers all the questions. She does great like you, Joe." So Nurse Jill is the reason why, and Joe Biden is the reason why she's in charge, and the insane incompetence, so much of incompetence that many of us are thinking aloud that maybe they did want to kill Trump. I know it's hard to say that. I know it's hard to think about it. Maybe it isn't for you. It is so screamingly obvious that either the Secret Service is incredibly beyond inept, incredibly over the top, naked gun inept. You know, like Leslie Nielsen was a Naked Gun. They're either Leslie Nielsen inept, or it's farcical, comical, or they wanted to kill Trump. I don't know, but listen. And we're going to eventually find out if Nurse Jill, with her appearance in Pittsburgh, and cackling Kamala, if they, in their nearby appearances in Pennsylvania, if they had Secret Service staff that were supposed to be for Trump redirected to Nurse Jill and cackling Kamala, putting Trump in jeopardy, we find out overnight that about 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, not the Secret Service, but our intelligence officials found out that, in fact, there is a plot to kill Trump that just surfaced from Iran because of killing Qasem Soleimani with the drone strike when Trump was president, that they beefed up his security. They allegedly beefed up his security with an Iranian threat that came in on the radar about 3, 4 weeks ago, something around that time. But we find out today, this afternoon, that the Secret Service knew 1 hour before Trump's attempted assassination that this guy, that the shooter, was looking at with a viewfinder at the stage and at the snipers, and they caught him, and they got a picture with him, and they said, he is highly suspicious. We need to be out on the lookout for this guy. 1 hour before he tried to kill Trump. 1 hour. Did they take him into custody? No. Whoa, no. They took pictures of him, though. What did I tell you yesterday? Smile. Oh, you're so hot. Give me hot. Okay, give me pouty. Where's the rifle? Show us the rifle with the viewfinder. Now give me pouty. Yes. Oh, my gosh. You look so hot. Give me angry sniper. Grr. Yes. Give me hot sniper. Pull the underwear up a little bit. Let it show, if they're on the backside. Okay. And then 10 minutes before the attempted assassination, there was a 4-alarm fire. They knew he was a threat. They were on the phone. They got on the phone. The Secret Service got on the phone with, I think, Pennsylvania State Troopers or something of that nature, or with the communications center with the Secret Service, and they were on the phone 10 minutes till, and they knew he presented a threat to attack or kill the president. They knew it was a threat 10 minutes before. So they watched him shoot off 8 shots, 7 or 8 shots, depending on who you believe, Because somebody literally yesterday was like, I thought it was just 3. No, it was 7 or 8 shots. They watched him all the way up. And for 10 minutes, they were on the phone with the communications center, which is possibly in D.C. for Secret Service. I don't know what I'm saying, which communications center. So the Secret Service agent in charge in the field was there talking to him for 10 minutes about this serious threat and watched it. Let him finish. Let him kill the president. Let him kill him. Let him kill him. And boom, the shot's fired. So I'm going to ask you this directly, and you need to respond right away. Lines wide open at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Why do you think the Secret Service allowed Trump's speech to go on, knowing that this guy was going to kill him within 10 minutes, knowing that he was a massive threat to the president, knowing that he had a rifle, a viewfinder an hour before, knowing he was a threat an hour before? Why didn't they grab him an hour before? Why didn't they grab him 10 minutes before? Why did they let him sit for 10 minutes so he could try to kill Trump? And why do you think this was, and here's the other one, do you think this was incompetence or a desire to let Trump die? All right, I'll ask it again. Lines wide open, chime in right now, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Be the first one to jump on. Why do you think the Secret Service allowed Trump's speech to go on for an hour after they knew there was a threat? And why do you think they let Trump's speech continue 10 minutes before when they knew this guy had to be taken out? I want to tell you something else. And the other question is, do you think this was incompetence or a desire to let Trump die? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Most of the people in the Secret Service, in the FBI, probably hate Trump. Many of them do, we know that. I would say most of them, like maybe, my guess, I'm just guessing 60%, between 55 and 65%. At least 50% hate Trump. And they know he's Hitler. They know he's Hitler. They know he must be stopped at all costs. They know he's a threat to democracy. Their leader tells them, their commander-in-chief tells him he's a threat to democracy, that he's got to get we got a bullseye on him. He's an existential threat. So they know that. What better to let this gunman kill him? And, oh, we're so sorry. State funeral, honor him. Oh, Orange Man. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, Joe Biden wins the election. It's the ultimate rigging of the election, and they don't look bad other than some incompetency. I mean, Joe doesn't see any problems. He hasn't fired his Secret Service director. I mean, it's Nurse Jill's bestie. BFF forever. And she's unrepentant. Hank in Parker Heights, you are on WBAP.
Thanks for taking my call, Chris. You're
welcome.
Going, yellow journalism and,
first of all, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a journalist.
Well, okay, you're going yellow conservative talk show host out of the box. And, you're going to fire up a lot of people from it. But, what you initially came up with as far as...
I didn't come up with anything. I'm telling you what's been reported.
Well, I was reported, I heard that he was identified shimmying up the air conditioning to get to the roof and not a ladder.
I didn't say, I didn't talk about that anyway so far. So I didn't say that. Why are you bringing that up against me? What did I do? I didn't talk about that.
You said they saw the guy with a, quote, rangefinder, not a viewfinder. It's an hour before? Is that correct? Is that what... From where did you get that source?
I can read it to you. It's all over the news today. Fox News, CNN. I mean, who do you want me to cite that doesn't have it?
Well, an hour before, I didn't hear that, and I pretty much listened to
1 hour before I described 1 hour before they saw him as a potential threat, and he was looking through with the viewfinder lens, whatever his rangefinder, whatever it's called, doesn't matter. We know what it is. Listen, no, relax. Whatever it is, you knew what I was talking about. I didn't know those existed. So relax. It's just a term.
Hey, do you play golf?
No.
Okay.
So I don't play golf. I don't have long distance range things. I shoot at things with friends on whatever. So no, I've never used a viewfinder, rangefinder, whatever it's called. Doesn't matter. You knew what I was talking about. Is your point that I don't have every scintilla of fact right because I'm not an expert in shooting, marksman? Or do you? Why don't you just answer the question instead of attacking what I said, and just answer? Do you think the Secret Service allowed Trump's? Why do you think they allowed the speech to go on? And do you think this was incompetence or a desire to let him die? Are you alleging that wasn't any of that?
No,
are you alleging the Secret Service did a great job? Are you mad because I'm not? Do you think the Secret Service did a good job?
No, I don't.
Do you think they're incompetent or they wanted to let Trump die? Which one is it?
No, they definitely didn't want to let Trump die. There may have been the problems with.
How do you know? How do you know? Do you know who killed JFK?
No, tell me.
I'm asking you questions.
Well, I'm telling you, no. Maybe the mob did. Maybe the CIA did.
We don't know. So you're here to tell me definitively, like what, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days afterwards that you have all the answers.
And how long did it take to get the Kennedy assassination?
All right. Thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Away.
So was it incompetence or did they allow him to die? Which one is it? One allowed him to die. Which one? Incompetence?
Incompetence.
Thank you. That's it. That's a question I asked. I didn't say either or. I did say either or. Just needed your answer. Thank you. We got two lines open, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I'll give you the details on where these reports came from and what the report said about 1 hour before and 10 minutes before, but I stand by what I said because it's been reported widely today. All right, and I'm going to play some more audio coming up next on the Chris Crooks Show at News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Look at this. I'm going to play you a few things. I'm going to play the Secret Service director talking about how she will not resign. By the way, what about the slope roof? The slope roof excuse. Have you taken a look at the front of the White House with a sniper on it? Do you know how sloped that roof is for the White House? It's insanely sloped. All right, we'll be right back. Chris Crooks Show. One line open, 800-288-WBAP. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
The Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again. We're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
Do you plan to stay on? Absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
Well, there you go. So the 1 hour prior is from Fox News and, in fact, from multiple senators that walked out of the briefing at the this morning. It was a Senate intelligence briefing, I believe it was, and here we go. Would-be Trump assassin ID'd as suspicious over an hour before the shooting, identified as suspicious by law enforcement. He was identified as a character of suspicion because he had a rangefinder as well as a backpack. This was over an hour before the shooting actually occurred. So would you think over the course of that hour, you shouldn't lose sight of the individual? Somebody ought to be following up on these sorts of things. No evidence of that happening at all. Also, I have Senator Marsha Blackburn, who walked out, and she says she's appalled by what she saw or learned this morning in this assassination attempt. My gosh, there's so many things we're looking at from that's breaking on this too. It's just incredible to watch all this. But here we go. Senator Marsha Blackburn said from Tennessee also, she also took part in the briefing with the Secret Service and the FBI. She was appalled to learn Secret Service knew about a threat prior to Trump taking the stage and didn't yank him. The 10 minutes part of this is also incredible because the Secret Service director of the, not the director, but the head of the Secret Service in the field there at the supervising the actual event with Trump knew that he was a threat and knew that he had to be stopped, if you will, 10 minutes before, was on the phone with the headquarters or whoever was in charge and just watched him. And he was on the phone with them over about the threat as Trump was still on the stage. And the biggest question on that came out late today was, Why didn't they stop the president from going up on stage? Why didn't they yank the president off the stage? So I ask you, why do you think the Secret Service allowed Trump's speech to go on, knowing 10 minutes before this was a direct threat? And do you think this was incompetence or a desire to let Trump die? I don't know, but it sure looks like one of the two. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Travis in University Park, you're on WBAP.
Yeah, we've all seen the videos. We saw the ladder.
Yeah. Actually, no. I was right yesterday. I reported, or I didn't report on that. A reporter. I told you that they said it was the air conditioner he climbed on, and somebody reported separately that it was a ladder. Today, they cleared it up and said there was no ladder. It was the air conditioning unit. So, no welcome to breaking news, right?
On the roof?
What's that?
What about the cow on the roof?
The cow.
Did you see the cow on the roof? Because the front of the
did you say COW, like moo?
Yes, a cow. Yes.
Okay. Are you trying to be funny?
It's a paddock. No, I'll send you the video.
Okay.
It's out there on Twitter.
Okay. I'm sure it's real. If you saw it on Twitter, I'm sure it's real.
Well, I agree, but you saw the video of the Secret Service and the White House with that sloped roof?
Yes.
That's the excuse. Really? It's obviously an inside. There's people working inside. They sat there and they watched the guy walk around. You seen the video about the guy walking around for almost an hour? They had him in the video from the person at the event, but they had him in their sights for 26 minutes. You know, there's something that stinks.
Yeah, so that's the question. Do you think it was gross incompetence or intentionality in letting Trump get shot at? And why do you think they
from the top down?
Why do you think they allowed it to what was it?
Because Trump is dangerous.
So you think they allowed it?
I think they allowed it, 100%.
Okay.
Because he's dangerous, and that's the only option they have.
Okay, and so it was not incompetence; it was a desire to let him die. Is your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, I appreciate your call, sir. Let's now the cow report. I will stand by saying that's got to be absolutely false. Ken in Arlington, you are on WBAP.
Hey, Chris, the optics of this looks like the way everything's coming out is let the shooter take out Trump, and then the Secret Service takes out the shooter, and then Biden's president. Because, I mean, everything's coming out is, okay, you know what? They knew the whole scenario 30 minutes before anything even happened, and they didn't do anything. They didn't question them. They didn't talk to them. They didn't do anything.
Here's another report that just came in. This is all still being found out, so it keeps changing. But Secret Service spotted Trump rally shooter on the roof 20 minutes before gunfire erupted. So it's not 10 minutes. It's now 20 minutes. And there was no reason to allow him to go on. At 5:10, he was first identified as a person of interest. Should have been taken into custody immediately. At 5:30, he was spotted with a rangefinder. Go arrest him immediately. At 5:52, spotted on the roof by Secret Service. Dude, don't let Trump go up on stage. 6:02, 10 minutes later, that was the 10 minutes, Trump takes the stage.
Right, yeah.
10 minutes later, shots fired. 20 minutes total. Why didn't they disallow Trump to go on the stage? So what do you think? Incompetence or a desire to let him die?
What I said. I think because the Secret Service is under the control of that lady, which is a Biden appointee, is let the shooter take out Trump.
Okay.
Then the Secret Service takes them out, and then we got it.
Got to roll. Thank you. Got to roll. Thank you very much. We have one line open, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Coming up next, oh my gosh, one of his friends, one of the associates of the Trump assassin, would-be assassin, talked to him before about politics. We'll tell you what he says to Fox News Digital next.
So I brought up the fact that I'm Hispanic and, I'm for Trump. And he said, well, you're Hispanic, so shouldn't you hate Trump? And I was like, no, he's great. I mean, like, he's a great president. And he called me stupid, or insinuated that. He's like, well, that's kind of stupid. If he was a know-it-all. So, like, once again, if he was passionate about something, he would just talk, and acted like he knew everything, especially politics related. And he would say it in a tone that was like, I'm better than you.
That's pretty classic of the mass shooters. They think they're super smart. And, it was funny. He alluded somehow, supposedly the world's greatest protection agency ever, who has learned from attempted assassinations of JFK, RFK, MLK, and almost President Donald J. Trump. So I'm asking you today, now that we know that the Secret Service knew of a threat an hour before, looking through with his rangefinder, which at the Secret Service agents, they saw him looking at them. Immediately, why wasn't he arrested? The Secret Service knew he was a threat, saw him on the roof 20 minutes before the gunfire erupted. Why didn't they immediately stop the rally and arrest the threat and search him and everything? And then once they saw the gun and everything, they would have shut down the rally for Trump and sent everybody home. Do you know how pathetic this was? Do you know the Secret Service couldn't even get outside of the quote-unquote perimeter? They had to climb the fence to get over it to go after the guy, the Secret Service. Do you know that roof was pointed out by local authorities, and they said to the Secret Service before the event, like not just the day of, like prior to this in the planning, the pre-stage planning, they said, we cannot protect that building. We cannot protect that building. That's not ours. We can't do that. We don't have the capabilities. And today, I don't know if you heard this, the Butler County, he's the Butler County commissioner, the big chief there in Butler County. He said that, maybe in Butler City, but anyways, he said we had no security whatsoever. Anybody that says that it's that we had security duties is wrong. They're lying, or they're trying to cover their own butt, or they're just false reporting. I'm tired of the reports and the allegations. We had no security whatsoever. 7 people were for traffic, and that is it. So I'm asking, and by the way, do you know what else? There were, I don't know if you caught this yet, there were trees that were blocking the view of some snipers. The sniper himself had a clear, perfect view to Trump. But from the other rooftops where other snipers were, the trees may, according to all the reports, may have actually blocked, and it looks like they did, from some of those snipers to even see this guy. Plus, the way the roof slope was, it may have been harder for some of the other snipers to see him. And I want to tell you something else. You know how we saw those snipers supposedly were the ones that hit and killed the guy? They were not. The snipers you see pictures of taking shots or maybe taking shots, they did not hit him. In fact, one of the reports I have says one of the local people, that one of the 2 local sniper people hit him. And I want to remind you, there was only 2 Secret Service snipers with quote-unquote beefed-up protection. They did not have the other 2 that they supposedly needed, and maybe they needed more than 2. Local police reportedly told the U.S. Secret Service, Fox says today, Fox News, that it lacked the manpower to monitor the building that was eventually used by gunmen to shoot the former president. Why do you think, my questions are twofold, why do you think the Secret Service allowed Trump's speech to go on, and do you think this was incompetence or a desire to let him die? It's got to be one of the 2, in my opinion. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. One line is open. Let's go to Jim in Dallas. Jim, WBAP.
Yeah, Chris, I got a couple of points to make, and they lead you to an answer pretty quickly to your questions. Number one, I want you to consider, as a history lesson, what happened in Twitter. A lot of people thought that Twitter was shadow banning people and all this other stuff, and all Twitter would say, no, that's conspiracy theory. And as soon as Musk bought Twitter, all of a sudden everything came out to be not only true, but far worse than we even expected. So think about it. We know that
Right.
Biden is guilty of a huge amount of crimes, bribery to from the Ukraine, from China, from probably Iran, no telling where else. All these other the monstrous activities. My personal feeling that theft of election and among other crimes. The last thing the Democrats want is to lose that election, because then everything will come about.
Trump, Trump's in power, and then they're going to get the investigation of the Biden family, and people are going to go to jail, and people are going to be found out.
It won't be just Biden. It will be a huge number of Democratic people in charge. They will be in prison, probably on death row. Secondly, think about this. Let's suppose the Secret Service had done their job. First of all, they could have captured this guy, questioned him, maybe got some decent answers out of this, and tracked down the truth as to whether he acted alone or whether he had been coerced in this. And second of all, a couple of people, so one person that died and some other people that got shot wouldn't have been, and Trump wouldn't have been shot either.
Right.
So the Secret Service needs to be right there on trial for not just negligence, but this is gross negligence, the kind of stuff that ought to get you in prison probably for the rest of your life.
So you think it was incompetence, or
no?
You think it was a desire to let him die?
I probably think somebody kind of quietly said the words, let's
look incompetent so that he can get taken out.
Yeah, if you look the other way, we're not going to cry about it.
Okay.
I don't think that there's a smoking gun out there necessarily. There may be, but I'd certainly think that they probably let the word out indirectly that they weren't so worried about. In fact, it's been, all these other things. There's one, was it a senator or congressman that's been trying to get the Secret Service detail stripped.
There were two Democrats trying to push for that. I appreciate your. I think was it Jasmine Crockett locally? I think also pushed for it. A congresswoman who took over EBJ's position, her district in South Dallas. I'll double check that, but I believe she also voted to strip Trump of his power. Appreciate your call. Let's now go to Carlos in Bedford. Carlos, you're on. Welcome to WPAP.
Hey,
yeah, hello.
Welcome. First time caller. How you doing?
Oh, hold on a second. Then I have a little something for you if you want to give me a sec here. For all first time callers, you get a little something special, okay?
Yeah.
If I can get it right here. Hold on one second. My little hamster on the wheel is malfunctioning. Hold on one second. And come on. There we go. No, wait. There we go. Here we go. And finally, hold on. And 1, 2, 3, boom. Here we go. Welcome to the show.
How you doing? Thank you for welcoming me.
Is your radio still on in the background? Because that cannot happen.
I know. I'm just slowing down right now. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to turn it off.
All right. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just listening to the show, and those options. It was completely an incompetence for the Secret Service and all the law enforcement that were involved in that rally. That's how I see it being, part of service and law enforcement. You can blame the guy in the top if you want to create those scare tactics and all that. And, I'm talking like, I've been listening to you guys for a long time, and, people just jump in the trains. He was sent to, he was a plan. It was a plan to take it out. No, it was just pretty much incompetence of the law enforcement that were involved in that rally.
Let me ask you this, sir. How do you know that?
Yeah. Well, the fact, the points and the fact that I've been listening to you guys talking about, the hour, that he was like seen by all the law enforcement officials, and they were not like alert on time. That was like, all the information that I got from you guys. I mean, everything that I've been listening to.
But you do understand that all the information we get is from published reports. So, and the published reports themselves told us yesterday a ladder was used, and then they told us separately an air conditioning unit was used, and the same published reports today say it was an air conditioner, not a ladder. So
it was. I was listening to that right now. It was a ladder, and then
because yesterday I said it was. Yeah, that was a joke. That was obviously a joke.
Oh yeah. I'm like, wow.
There was nothing moving about that. Yeah,
exactly.
Whatever. Stupid joke. Okay, so no, but what I'm going to tell you is we don't know everything at all. And let me ask you one more thing. And I'm not trying to be conspiratorial, but do you think that the JFK thing was a lone gunman, and that it wasn't involving the CIA?
Of course not. He was killed by Lee Harvey Oswald, and somebody else was waiting in the plane in the airport.
But do you believe the CIA knew about it in advance, or helped plan it?
They probably knew about it. And Okay,
so
there's a lot of information that they can use as there was a second gunman in there.
Did our CIA and many of the people on their payroll still lie to us intentionally when they told us that the Hunter Biden laptop was a hoax? When they had 51 former intelligence people, did you know that was a hoax right away? That they were lying to us?
No, it was not a hoax. Hunter Biden is guilty. He's guilty of what he did.
No, sir. Sir, but what happened was Joe Biden's top campaign guy, Anthony Blinken at the time, came up with the idea for the letter. He wrote the letter, and then he contacted all those former intelligence officials, many of whom were still contractors under the CIA, getting paid from the CIA, who had top-level security access still, and were using that to become wealthy as the typical guests, paid contributors to CNN and MSNBC, and they all signed on to the campaign document lying about Hunter Biden's thing. So if the CIA would with the Biden people would lie to us, why wouldn't they lie to us on this? And the same thing with the JFK stuff. Why it's all still classified? We have no documents yet. They still haven't released it all.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I agree with you. Once we get all the once we get all the facts, and everything will come to light, it will be true. And
I do think it was a lone gunman. And I do think that it's a grand incompetence, but we have to ask these questions. And I appreciate your call, my friend. I look forward to your second call, okay?
No problem.
Take care, brother. Thank you. You did a great job. Okay, one line is now open at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Was it just glass from a teleprompter screen that shattered, that hurt Trump's ear? Well, if you listen or you watch MSNBC, you think that's actually possible. You'll hear that audio coming up next. Chris Crooks Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
We've not received a medical report from the hospital, nor have we received a medical report from the campaign or from the Trump organization about the extent of the damage to his ear. If he was shot by a high caliber bullet, there should probably be very little ear there. Other reporters saying that it was actually shards of glass from the teleprompter itself, not the bullet.
There is a political quest here to mine and use Donald Trump's injury, and whether his allies and Republicans or the candidate himself do that in a way that overextends their credibility will be decided by the voters.
Yes, it's all fake. Trump got hit by glass. They want to see the medical report. The man almost died it's just unbelievable. But 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Two lines open. Do you think the Secret Service allowed Trump's speech to go on? Why? Why do you think they did, I mean to say? And do you think this was incompetence or a desire to let him die? There's another report I had from Fox News saying 10 minutes before the Secret Service knew he was a threat and didn't do anything. They just called it in. We're talking about it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. By the way, we're going to carry Senator J.D. Vance's speech coming up at 9:31. We'll carry it on the Chris Crooks Show. You must hear that powerful speech, undoubtedly, coming up. But first, let's go to Len in Prosper. Len, WBAP. Hi, Len.
Hi, I just have two things.
Oh, Lynn. Sorry, Lynn.
That's okay. Hey, I do think, unfortunately, this was all by design. And my second thing is, do you have any information on whether this was Trump's normal security team or if there had been substitutions or anything like that?
Yes, I have some multiple reports on that. Number one, it was his people had been so overworked 7 days a week and such for so long because of his prolific appearances that many of them needed rest, supposedly. And so some of these people were put in from other areas. But it's also important to know that Nurse Jill was speaking live at in Pittsburgh at the same time, and Cackling Kamala was also at an event nearby as well. So, by the way, it's the responsibility of the Secret Service director, who Nurse Jill loved and recommended to Joe as the top one, so she got her the job. She should have had a second, an A team and a B team that were all perfect for Trump, that all regularly guarded him. It's not anybody's fault other than the Secret Service leaders for allowing this. So do you think they were grand incompetence or desire to let him die?
I think it was by design. The ending was supposed to be different, yes.
It's amazing. You'll hear the Fox News report at the top of the hour. I'll play it out of the box with that report today from Fox. It's just breathtaking. I appreciate your call, Lynn. Lynn or Len? I'm just kidding. You're Lynn. Let's see. We have time for one more? Yeah, we do, right? No, we don't have time for more. Okay, that's okay. You're going to be next. We got two lines open. Hop on now. We're going to have a bunch of calls right out of the box coming up next. Joe in Grapevine, Damon in Fort Lee, and Peggy in Coppell. You guys are right out of the box. Next, two lines open. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227, plus that audio from Fox News where they said 10 minutes before the Secret Service knew he was a threat and didn't do anything. They just got on the phone and were talking about it, walking it right up to the moment where Trump was slaughtered, or almost slaughtered, excuse me, nearly slaughtered. Okay? And I want to remind you again, we're going to carry J.D. Vance's speech in 35 minutes. Do not miss that. It's going to be absolutely awesome. You don't have to go anywhere. We're going to carry live and react to that as well. 800-288-WBAP. One line is now open, 800-288-9227 on the Chris Crooks Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.